Now, for the inquisitive ones amongst you, you might have copied this URL where our jQuery library resides and tried to take a look at it. And if you did, this is what you would see. It looks like a huge mess. But this is essentially the minified version of the jQuery library. And you might notice that it looks very similar from the Bootstrap CDN that we used previously. When you copy the URL there and paste it and load it in your browser, then you can see again you have this huge mess of code. Now, what exactly is all of this? Let's take a section of this and copy it. And inside Atom, I'm going to open a new page. I'm going to show you what this minification does. So essentially, we've still got the same Bootstrap code. So in the case of Bootstrap, then it is CSS. And in the case of jQuery, then it's JavaScript code. But essentially, all of the spaces, the new lines, the comments have been removed from the file to try and reduce its size. But you can see that as I've been combing through this and separating out these lines into the familiar formatting that we're used to, then you can see that it's just CSS code. And this is simply just JavaScript code. And in fact, if you head over to minifier.org, which is a way of converting your JavaScript or CSS code to a minified version. Now, to test it out, I've got our index.js from our drum kit code. And at the top, I'm going to add a comment. This is a comment. And you can see that it's got a lot of spaces, new lines, new paragraphs. But we're going to copy its entirety by just hitting Command or Control A and then Command or Control C. And then we're going to take it over to our minifier and we're going to paste that in. And now we're going to select JavaScript and hit minify. And you can see that it's just crunched everything together and got rid of our comments. So now you can see that our original script was 1,539 bytes. Our minified script is only 1,113 bytes. So we have gained 426 bytes, making our file smaller and therefore quicker for our users to load. And this is exactly the reason why we minify our JavaScript or our CSS, because all of this code has to be loaded up by your user's browser. Now, depending on their internet speed, that may take a short time or a long time. Now, because the browser doesn't care about tabs, indents, spaces, and comments, it completely ignores all of it. There's no point asking the user to load up all of this unnecessary information. And by minifying it, we get rid of those things and make our website load much faster. So if you download the jQuery library straight up, then you'll see something that looks a bit like this. Now, as with all libraries, they'll come with a standard version that is human readable, and they'll also have a minified version that's just intended for the browser. And this is so that you can customize the code if you wish and then minify it yourself, or if you don't want to do any customization, then simply to just drop the jQuery file into your project. All right, so in the next lesson, we're actually going to be getting down and dirty and actually exploring all the things that you can do with jQuery, starting by selecting elements. So for all of that and more, I'll see you on the next lesson.